Just like flowers and plants, the presence of fruit in paintings can have an important symbolic meaning. And then I'm not specifically talking about still life paintings with fruit or a mythological depiction of Pomona, the goddess of the fruit trees. What is really interesting is when you see a painting like this one by Filippino Lippi and there's a pomegranate on the table. Does this refer to fertility or to some more somber things like the future bloodshed of Jesus and his death? Now have a look at these two Madonna and Child paintings from around 1488 by Giovanni Bellini. The one on the left shows a pear, and in the one on the right Jesus holds a quince. Well, the pear here is a symbol of the love of Jesus, while the quince is a reference to his resurrection. In this video, the focus is on the pomegranate, grape, apple and pear. The pomegranate is red, has many seeds and has been used in various symbolic ways throughout art history. One of the older stories is related to the Greek myth of Proserpine, captured here in 1882 by the pre-Raphaelite artist Dante Gabriel Rossetti. The story is that Proserpine, also known as Persephone, was abducted by Pluto, the ruler of the underworld. Proserpine's mother helped to get her out of the underworld, but she had eaten some pomegranate seeds in Hades, and so she was forced to spend every winter in the underworld. And because of this myth, the pomegranate has been linked to the change of the seasons, immortality, and resurrection. In a religious context, the pomegranate has a different meaning. This painting is entitled Madonna of the Pomegranate, painted around 1487 by Sandro Botticelli. It shows the Virgin Mary and baby Jesus surrounded by three angels on each side. Mary and Jesus hold a pomegranate with their left hand. Looking at the sad faces of Mary and Jesus, you may guess that the pomegranate symbolizes some unpleasant things. And indeed, the pomegranate refers to the transition from life to death, referring to the future death of Jesus. But the seeds of the pomegranate also refer to rebirth and resurrection, also visible in this other painting of Botticelli entitled Madonna of the Magnificat. In addition, the red seeds here are also a reminder of the bloodshed of Jesus to save mankind. Mary and Jesus are shown more often with a pomegranate. It may be a bit hard to see in this work from around 1475 by Lorenzo di Credi, but Mary holds an open pomegranate and Jesus holds some of its seeds in his other hand, once again a reference to the Passion of Christ. But there have also been other symbolic interpretations of the pomegranate, which are related to the many seeds that are inside it. That's why it has been used as a symbol for fertility, like in this painting from around 1426 by Fra Angelico. And all these seeds kept together within the same skin also symbolize the unity of the Church or the Christian community. But in the end, the most common interpretation remains that the pomegranate refers to the bloody sufferings and death of Jesus. Grapes are strongly associated with the god of fertility, agriculture and wine, Bacchus, as in this painting by Caravaggio entitled Young Sick Bacchus. The healthy grapes are a symbol of lust, and Caravaggio reinforces this message by having Bacchus hold them close to his mouth. But if you look at the bunch of grapes he is holding, you may also notice some rotten ones, and rotten fruits in general are a symbol of death. In this particular case, Caravaggio had been seriously ill in the months before making this painting, so the thoughts of death must have been on his mind. In another painting by Caravaggio, simply entitled Bacchus, we can see some other spoiled pieces of fruit, which are just like dying flowers associated with vanitas, which is the traditional Christian view of the emptiness and worthlessness of all earthly goods and ambitions. Grapes in a painting containing Jesus do obviously not refer to lust, but rather foreshadow the Last Supper, the event at the end of his life when Jesus served wine to his disciples and said, This wine represents the new agreement from God to his people. It will begin when my blood is poured out for you. So, it's a symbol for the blood of Jesus and the Eucharist. The apple has played a role since the beginning of the Bible when Adam and Eve consumed the forbidden fruit of the tree of knowledge. And while the Bible does not specify what kind of fruit they consumed, it is often assumed in Western art that it was an apple. The reason for that may be that the Latin word for apple is malum, which is the same word used for evil. And so the apple was strongly associated with sinfulness and temptation, as Adam and Eve could not withstand the temptation of the snake. In line with that, the infant Jesus is also frequently shown with an apple in his hand, although sometimes it's hard to see the difference between an apple and another fruit like a peach or even an orange. In the hand of Jesus, the apple symbolizes his role in atoning for the sins of mankind. But sometimes the apple is just present in a painting with Mary and Jesus. And I mean not in Jesus' hands to symbolize the forgiveness of sins, but at another place, in which case it is more a reference to the original sin. There are also mythological paintings that include apples, and often the goddess of beauty and love, Venus, is present, like in this work, and the apple is then a reference to lust and eroticism. The last fruit of today's video is the pear, seen here in this Madonna and Child painting from around 1515 by the Flemish artist Joos van Cleve. As mentioned in the beginning of this video, the pear is a symbol of love, but also of divine fertility. And while artists most often depicted the forbidden fruit from the Garden of Eden as an apple, the second most common choice is a pear, as in this work from around 1520 by Bernard van Orley, showing Jesus, John the Baptist, and the Virgin Mary holding a pear. Besides a symbol of love, the pear in the hands of Mary can also be interpreted as that Mary is the new Eve and that she does know how to make the right choices. There's much more to say about the symbolism of fruit, but I'll leave that for the next video, to explore the meanings of fruits like the orange, lemon, pineapple, cherry, and so on. I hope you enjoyed this overview, and as always, I'm happy to read your thoughts about this subject in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.